How's it going, everybody? And we are back with another beatbox reaction video. And today we have the quarterfinal for the BBU 22. That's going to be Maddox versus Jordo. So Maddox initially wasn't supposed to be in this competition, but fell in for Vino, who dropped out, and he battled Stitch in the first round, ended up winning that battle. Honestly, I think that Maddox's first round was pretty impressive on both sides, the production side and the beatboxing side. Yeah, this kind of competition is just catered for Maddox, to be quite honest. I initially actually put him in my top 16, since Shazam didn't see it that way, but yeah, he has masterclass production and he has a wide range when it comes to styles in the beatboxing scene. So yeah, it's not surprising that he won that battle. No disrespect to Stitch, obviously, but Maddox was like kind of on another level when it came to when you're taking everything into account, like the production and the beatboxing. So, and then we have Jordo, who relatively unknown to the beatboxing scene. Hasn't been around for quite a while. Maybe he has. He just haven't really been in the limelight for as long as Maddox has. He had a very killer round that was meant for Tomas Zachary, but Velardo filled in for Tomas for obvious reasons we all know at this point. So unfortunately, Velardo got the short end of the stick there, got an ass beating that he didn't deserve. But the round that Jordo did have that was meant for Tomas Zachary was absolutely amazing. Showed a wide variety and range in his beatboxing skills there, and the video was pretty good as well, to be quite honest. So yeah, this battle, I'm not really sure what to expect when it comes to the beatboxing, because from what I've seen from both beatboxers, they do have a wide range of skills when it comes to beatboxing. They're capable of doing different genres, so I don't really know what to expect there. But Maddox is a very masterclass production when it comes to creating videos, so I do expect a repeat in that regard. I do expect a very good video production from Maddox. Not really sure what to expect from Jordo. I'm not sure if he's getting help from David, but if he is, that's going to be another killer video there. So yeah, should be a pretty exciting battle. Not really sure what to expect from the beatboxing side, but that kind of makes it exciting when you don't really know what to expect in that regard. So anyway, guys, before we get into the reaction here, I will obviously be doing my grading for the battle at the end with my own grading criteria to see to decide who I think the winner was based on the 2 rounds that we'll see here. So if you want to stick around and see who I thought won based on my own grading criteria, then feel free. So without further ado, guys, let's get right into the reaction. 3 done.
Go, man, let me go!
Another interrogation.
Shut your fucking mouth or I'll break it.
You dropping messages, but beats with no drive. I'll make you leave my premises, so please, bitch, don't cry. Beats with no drive make you bleed till you die. Only the strong survive, you strive or die. Nobody has a chance against my bright eyes. What? Your lyrics make no sense, bro. dance to that.
Oh, that snare is crazy.
Hey, yo, Jordox, let me try your shit.
Wow.
Yeah, we have Maddox here. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yo, and welcome to me, Maddox. I am the vegan guy, also known as the good YouTuber, but I'm not known for my beatbox. You're listening to World Crab Radio.
I got a big house full of love, baby, understood. If you need somebody.
Strong sensations getting in our brains with the lower vibrations. Mess up your hands. Soul confusion is that a thing that a spray on us hope to that we will still be here.
Oh man.
away. We've never shined so brightly.
Man. Wow.
Thank you so much for that. You listening to the World Crap Radio.
Okay, guys. So that was Maddox versus Jordox. And yeah, so the battle actually turned out to be quite surprising. Not exactly what I expected. I didn't really know what to expect, to be honest, but I kind of had a sense in the back of my mind that maybe I'd get a little bit of something that we heard from both of the competitors before, but what we did get was a little bit surprising to me. So I actually want to talk about Jordox first because it's a little bit more fresh in my mind. So I think out of the two ones here, I think he was a little bit more impressive in pretty much every regard. I thought like the concept of the video as a whole was very interesting. The whole like underground like detective trying to look for the character of Maddox, who was investigating Stitch in his previous round, and also it turns out that he carried over that kind of atmosphere in Maddox's case, capturing Jordox and being like that interrogator again. So I thought it was really interesting that Jordox kind of like carried on that little theme there, but made it into his own, like he was an underground detective trying to capture Maddox for doing that thing to both Stitch and I don't know if he knew that he did it again in his quarterfinal battle, but who knows. But anyway, that was a really interesting concept, I think, playing into the production side of it quite well, continuing like a little storyline that Maddox produced there, and Jordox really leaning into that and carrying it over to his round here for his battle against Maddox. I thought that was very interesting and worked out quite well. And yeah, the whole like video production side of it was top notch. I think David might have done it again because it did have that flashy images warning that I've been seeing on a lot of these videos, and I'm assuming that's David's, if I remember correctly. He did have a list of names there. I should go back and look at that, but it is what it is. I didn't for this analysis portion, so if not, if I'm wrong, definitely feel free to correct me in the comments. But yeah, so when it comes to the beatboxing too, very diverse showing of different kind of styles there. He had a lot going on there, had a lot of musicality portions, had a lot of technicality portions, had a lot of showcase of different kind of unique sounds that he's capable of doing. One in particular, towards the middle portion, was very, very impressive. It was kind of like a melodic lip bass with a combination of like throat bass inside of that, which I thought was very impressive. And another standout for me for sure was his copying of Maddox's bass that he used in his first round matchup against Stitch. I thought he actually, Jordox in this particular case, actually I think he did it a little bit better. It felt a little bit more full in terms of the sound. And he also Jordox also added a little bit of flair onto the end portion of it as well, adding those inward lip rolls. Kind of really made it punch a little bit harder, I think, in my opinion. And now there's a lot going on in Jordox's round, obviously. There's a lot of like hidden messages in his lyrics, a lot of written down pieces in the video, and it's just impossible for me to kind of break that down, all of it, into a nice and neat package for you guys here in the analytical portion. But yeah, I'm not going to try that, unfortunately, guys. There's a lot going on there. But definitely feel free to watch the videos multiple times, because these are like, this one in particular is probably one that you would have to watch several times to fully grasp everything that he put into it. But even just after watching it once, you can definitely just take in that he definitely put a lot of work into this one, for sure. A lot of crazy stuff going on, a lot of ideas that he put into it, and I think it worked out quite well, to be quite honest with you. I think that it could have definitely been a little bit ambitious if it didn't work out, but I did think it worked out, so it worked out pretty well for him, in my opinion. Yeah, Jordox kind of like an underrated, newer person on the scene that we don't really hear much of, and he's definitely making a name for himself here. This is like the second round in particular that he done for this competition, and both of them are very good, very solid, and very surprising. Yeah, and also another thing to note is that this video here was almost 5 minutes long, and it didn't really feel like that at all. It's a very good sign when you're listening to something when it's kind of lengthy like that, especially when it comes to beatboxing, because when beatboxing gets to that point in time, when it gets past that time threshold, like 3 minutes-ish round for solo beatboxing, in my opinion, is when things can start getting very repetitive, and it starts to lose its flair, and it starts to get a little bit boring. But in Jordox's case for his round here, I felt like that 5 minutes didn't feel like 5 minutes at all. It felt like 2 or 3 minutes, which is a very good thing. It kept me entertained from the start to the finish. Everything that he had, all the ideas that he had, was very entertaining to watch and listen to, I think. Yeah, so he'll definitely score high in a lot of these categories that I use for my grading. And yeah, so that's it for Jordox. Maddox, on the other hand, nice, another solid showing for Maddox. I think when it comes to the beatboxing side, I think a lot of it kind of felt a little raw, like a little bit freestyle-esque. I'm not sure if it was a routine that he came up with for his battle, but a lot of it did feel a little like the vibe of a freestyle, which is not a bad thing. It's definitely not something we have been getting for this competition. But this one in particular did feel a little bit more freestyle-esque. He's been using a lot of like patterns, like combinations of sounds that I hear a lot from him when it comes to like the battling side and like live battles and just like freestyle videos and behind the scenes videos and just like throwaway videos that you see on Synergy's channel, like the beatbox game and stuff like that. I hear a lot of that. I heard a lot of that in this video in particular, and a lot of the vibe that I got from the beatboxing side in this video came from or gave me that sense that it was a little bit more freestyle-esque. I could be wrong. I'm not always right, obviously, so I'd have to listen to it again to see if I'm wrong here, but I felt like the overall structure, just based on the first listen there, was a little bit more freestyle-esque. I'm not saying all of it was, but portions of it for sure. I think like the beginning portion for sure, and later in the end as well, potentially. But yeah, but the idea of the video itself and the theme of the video itself fell into line with what we've seen from him in his first battle against Stitch. Exactly the same, just carrying over, which I think is actually a pretty good idea. Some people might think that's like, why would you do that same thing twice in a row? But I think like keeping this consistent kind of theme through a competition is actually not that bad of an idea. I think he could work out very well in his favor, just because of how good he is at producing videos and how good of like production he actually has. So I think it worked out quite well. But some of the choices, I think, in my opinion, for like the actual filming stuff for this video, I didn't really like. It's just my own personal opinion. I don't like the flashy lights too often. I don't like that like decision when it comes to creating videos. I think it's a little bit distracting. Some people like it, but in my personal opinion, I don't like it. I just have also sensitive eyes too, so you could probably notice when I was watching that portion, I kind of looked down a little bit because I didn't like looking at the video when that was going on. It was actually quite long as well, so it is what it is. Some people like it, some people don't. I don't like it, but it kind of worked out though for the overall theme, I think. But just like the decision for me, I didn't really like. But yeah, but one big standout for Maddox's round, I'm trying to remember. Yes, he copied one of Jordox's beats. I think it was for his, yeah, it was for his round against Velardo. He copied the overall melody of that round that he did against Velardo, but he added a really cool, interesting like guitar flair. Like it actually really sounded like an actual guitar, which was very impressive. I've seen him do that sound in the past, so I know he's capable of doing that. I didn't expect him to do that in this video, but he did, and it was a perfect melody to like kind of encapsulate how crazy that sound actually is. He didn't do it for too long, but he did it long enough to actually get like the point across that like he can do that melody obviously as well as Jordox, but he can actually add his own flair onto it as well. It was very impressive. And yeah, he had another standout. He had a very nice like breakdown portion in the beatboxing part where he had incorporated this really crazy like metallic kind of snare inside of his beat, which I thought was very impressive. That was probably like outside of that guitar part, that was one of my favorite parts about this round as well. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on in Maddox's round as well. Both of them are quite long, so there's a lot of things to take in. Obviously, I can't pick apart every little bit of it just based on the length there. But yeah, very solid round from Maddox. First impression here, I think that maybe Jordox will end up taking this, but I still have the grading portion, so maybe the point totals will say otherwise. But I think like just based on the beatboxing, just the beatboxing portion alone, I think I would probably give this to Jordox at the end. But anyway, guys, that's it for the analysis portion of this video. I enjoyed both rounds quite a lot. I've been enjoying every single round from this competition. Everyone has been giving it their absolute A game, so it's crazy to see how crazy the scene is evolving, and I just love this concept as a whole. I really enjoy listening to it. So this is it for the analysis portion, guys. I will be doing my grading portion. If you want to stick around and watch that, I'll be doing the scoring based on criteria that I've created for this competition, and eventually the scoring will lead to the winner, who I think actually won the battle based on my scoring. So if you don't want to stick around for that, guys, then I will see you in the first semi-final battle for the BBU.